First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We're live streaming here at the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, and I say it for every interview, but I want to remind you we're here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. We go throughout the afternoon. So if you want to watch live, you can download that Fox 12 Oregon app or kptv.com. But after the fact is great too. Feel free to share these segments. And today we are talking about a documentary you're going to get a chance to go see. And it is about, well, let me just say this. It's called Age Group Winner, as you can see there on the screen. But let's say one part of it is somebody running 52 marathons in 52 weeks. This was back in the 80s. The documentary follows this person who happens to be the father of director Alexandra Helgerson, who's joining us right now. And Alexandra, thank you very much, for being here to talk about this. Just a really interesting story that you have for it, and I want to get into that. But before we do, could you just tell us, a little bit about yourself here, and maybe how you even got into filmmaking?
Sure. Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm from Portland, grew up in Portland. I was a college athlete in California, studied acting for many years after college. I'm an actor as well. Was living in LA 10 years ago and was working at the New York Film Academy, an art school, film school in LA, and surrounded by just these wonderful instructors and students and film library. And I love movies, and there are many other reasons, like what led me to start Age Group Winner about my dad. But I think it was just my love of movies and storytelling and being an actor. And that's part of what led me to begin making this film.
Well, as you mentioned, you're telling those stories too, and this being, at least in part, the story of your father. Can you tell us about him and, a little bit of the history leading up to where maybe this documentary starts?
Yeah. My dad is Jay Helgerson, and in 1979, he set out to run a marathon a week for a year. Each marathon for him had to be completed in under 3 hours, or it didn't count. And his goal was to run one a week, 52. And he had run 25 marathons the year before, and that's kind of what led him to the idea of doing 52. And he found that he could recover and more or less enjoyed it, and no one had done it before, and he wanted to explore what that would be like. So that's him. He was a stay-at-home dad in the 80s and 90s, and it was kind of unconventional to be so. And he lives in Portland still, and is a grandpa now and running all the time. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds insane to run 52. I mean, to be honest, because I brought this up, even just this concept, because I brought up the 52 marathons in 52 weeks. I mean, that's just wild that a body can even hold up to that.
Yeah, it really is. And again, he's 70 now and just ran his 19th Boston Marathon. He and my sister just ran, the full of the Leif Erikson Trail in Forest Park over the weekend. It's almost 12 miles, and he loves to run and still finds he can do it. So
that's amazing. That's incredible. And to that extent, you have that aspect to it. But where did this lead into, I guess, you wanting to do this film, this age group winner film about your father?
There was one moment in 2014 or 2015 where I felt confronted with our own mortality, and it was just seeing my grandparents really age and realizing that, wow, I'm so lucky to have healthy parents that I have pretty good relationships with. But at the same time, my dad and I really bonded through sports. I played college basketball, and then beginning a life in the arts, it's so uncertain and can be really unfamiliar if that's not totally where you come from. And I wanted to feel closer with my dad. I wanted to better see who he is and where he comes from, what his life was like growing up. And then I realized too, oh yeah, and he did this really awesome, kind of unusual thing with his marathon running. And he's very funny. He makes me laugh all the time. He makes a lot of people laugh all the time. And so I felt it was a worthwhile venture. And I had no idea it would take as long as it did, or that it would take me to the places that it's taken me to. But it's been a huge gift. And like to be able to go to Boston and witness what the marathon is for my dad and what it is for all the people who get to run the Boston Marathon every year. It's monumental. And then to see where my dad grew up in Wichita, Kansas, and like reconnect with my aunts as an adult and better understand their lives and my dad's life, where they came from. It's been a big gift.
What was your father's reaction to this when you said this is what you wanted to do?
Oh, at first he was like, no, 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 no. And for a lot of the filming process, it was like, no, 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 no. But I think with my dad, as with many of us, we can often be contradictory, or there can be contrasting truths that live within us. And so while at times he was understandably protective, or, didn't want a camera in his face, he also, I think, enjoys having the camera on him too. And always has something funny to say. He's very witty.
So even though he protesting maybe a little bit, but in the end of the day,
at the end of the day, it was, I think he also knew that it was important to me as a storyteller and an artist. And I think we both felt a mutual sense of respect for one another as my filming and editing process evolved over the years, that I wanted to make something that could universally reach a lot of people and wasn't just a special family movie. But I wanted to be respectful to this person, this man I love, who happens to be my dad, at the same time, of like balancing that act of when to let things flow and not.
I think we froze just for a second there. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. It looks like, okay, looks like we're back. This is live, so sometimes that happens. But yeah, I heard the very end there, though, just balancing those two things and having all of that, and then getting that out there for people. For people who are going to see this, what would you like them to walk away with after seeing your documentary? Looks like we have got a little bit of Zoom freezing. I think we might have lost Alexandra there just for a second. Maybe, okay, we'll give this one more shot. I think you can hear us right now. It's what happens.
Yeah, I can hear you. And my Wi-Fi says it's all good, but
who knows? It's the internet. So let me ask you this: for people who are going to go see your film, what would you like them to walk away with from seeing this experience of you and your father?
I would love for them to pick up the phone and call someone that they love and just tell them that they love them, or leave a message if they don't answer, because that's a big part of the film too. But just be open to sharing love and finding the ways in which we can support one another, and not be afraid to tell one another how we feel.
That's great. That's great advice, I think, for everyone. And, it's exciting to get to go to see this and your journey with that and your father's, and still out there running. And so for people who want to go see the film here in Portland, or in the Portland area, or wherever you are in the Portland area, to go see it in Portland, when and where and how can they do that?
They can do that Saturday night, August 30th, 7 p.m. at Pam Cutt's Tomorrow Theater on Southeast Division. And it's going to be awesome. That theater is beautiful. I'm so excited to play there. I'm opening the night with some music. Like, I'm a musician too, and my friend Alex Kallenberger has just produced my record, which is coming out this fall. So he and I are going to play a few songs that pertain to my life and the film to open up the night. So it's going to be really special.
Nice. New album and a film in the same year. I mean, that's That's a good year. That's a good creative year.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody else who so that's where they can go see it and to follow along with the film and everything else that's going on. Can you give them the best place to go to?
Yes, Saturday, August 30th at 7 p.m. at the Tomorrow Theater, Pam Cutts Tomorrow Theater, Southeast Division. I will be opening the night with a handful of songs from my debut album that my friend Alex and he's going to play with me. And the songs are from, my upcoming album and pertain to the film and my life. And then the film will begin.
All right, there we go. Well, Alexandra, thank you very much, for joining us. I appreciate your time here, for being a part of this too, and congratulations on all the success of that, and getting this out there for people to see. So really, thanks for joining us here on Fox 12 Now.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
And for everybody watching, again, we are live streaming here, so we appreciate everybody who joins us wherever you are, whether you're a guest on the show, whether you're watching us live or watching after the fact. Thanks for doing that, and feel free to share these segments. Send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com, if you have an idea for a segment, or maybe there's a story on one of our other shows that you want a deeper dive on, or you want to hear from one of our reporters. You can absolutely do so. Just send me that email, or you send me the email, and I'll see if we can make that happen. But you're free to write me anytime, and I love hearing from people. So thanks so much for that. We'll take a break for right now. I'll talk to you soon.